We're good. Manor North shower.
Manor North shower.
Manor North shower.
I think Betzler is like talking to one of his recruits and they're in the shower together.
Betzler and Marvin shower together.
With Chad in there. Hey guys.
What freshman do we have that we haven't given names?
I learned about the 24-hour show probably my freshman year after it happened, so I couldn't participate in my freshman year. The reason why I joined the 1X my sophomore year was so I could be a part of the 24-hour show. And then a student by the name of Ryan Magner, who was in charge of the 24-hour show at that time, he came to me and said, would you like to help write the 24-hour show? And I've been a part of the writing team ever since. I was the head writer / director of the 24-hour show, so it was everybody's job with myself, Logan Holt, and Brian Loy, Courtney Nagel, to come up with ideas to make sure we got every random suggestion in from the audience and try to make it work.
Basically just getting all the ideas out, seeing the big picture and going, alright, how can we connect this thing to this thing and this thing to this thing, get it all together. So it's just a lot of loose ends, but tying them up. I was the actual writer, so I technically literally wrote the show, just saying.
Thank God Courtney was in there, because if she was the one typing the thing, and Logan, Brian, and I, we can't type very fast at all because we were just focusing on just how this 24-hour show was going to work, and like how to fit every single suggestion in. We had about 52 suggestions of the whole show, and I think we managed to get like 50 or so in there because we just forgot to.
I feel like everything flowed pretty well. If we had anything, we were just like, how? It was just like, just throw it in there, it's fine, we got it. Just boards filled with ideas and a lot of arrows going to nowhere.
The writer's room was absolutely crazy because we were just all walking around, none of us were sitting still because we were writing everything on the whiteboards and we were checking everything off to make sure we got everything down in the script. And there were moments where we'd be like, oh, we missed this, we had to fit this in somewhere, we had to throw this in somewhere. Brian was walking on desks, Logan was just being weird. I was sleep deprived and I couldn't think straight.
You could really tell that they were all sleep deprived when they wrote it. No, in a good way.
Overall, we all came together, no one was arguing about what should go where. It was very civil of how we came up with the script.
This year's show, it was fun and crazy, but it also followed the storyline. So the plot was good.
To start off, the politics of the United States currently, which is a great time.
When I marched myself with Dr. Martin Luther King in the year 1986, okay, this technology was but a dream.
Then going forward, how the character played by myself took over the world and kind of killed people and made them dance and drink Fireball.
A mixture of Civil War, the political debate, the presidential election, alcohol, drugs, 80s singers, vape pens, and couches, and pretty much a How I Met Your Mother sitcom.
It's basically Star Wars, how YCP would envision it, like how the theater division would envision how a Star Wars plot would go on. So it's a bunch of ridiculousness, a bunch of just people having fun. I had to try to figure out like the rehearsal schedule and stuff like that. We did a read-through at 8, as we always do. Then we went into the Perco and I started blocking the show from scratch to see like how everything would work, how people would enter and stuff like that. We took breaks here and there.
Richie had taken people from each scene and blocked it in, and then I went and ate something, I think, for a minute, and then I came back, and he had like the whole show blocked, and I was like, what? Okay, that's pretty cool. Like, I didn't even think that was possible. After I ate for like an hour and came back and it was done, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
It was sort of like walking in on like human evolution, but like partway through it happening. So like there are all these people playing all of these crazy characters, and I hadn't like really thoroughly read through the script yet. So there were a bunch of people acting. There were a bunch of people acting in these characters that I wasn't sure who they were supposed to be, and Mitch was eating a shoe. I didn't know why that was happening.
The rehearsals were very fast-paced. They were set up into different sections depending on which teams you were on, and depending on the writers that were there, they really helped map out the characters. Through the process, we really had to make sure that we had our lines memorized at a certain point, since we had to do it all in one day. But it was definitely challenging, but in the best way, and it challenged me as an actor when it comes to memorizing my lines.
It's a little hectic at first when you start, just because there are so many people and some of them are newcomers, so they don't quite know what the process is supposed to be like yet. But once y'all settle down, it really picks up. You guys read it together, and then you start rehearsing in blocks. And then when you're not rehearsing, you go memorize your lines. So it was hectic at first, but organized at the same time. Organized chaos. The characters were insane.
The show starts out, Chris Betzler has this awful rule over America, or the world. I think it's the world.
I was kind of happy that I got to take over the world. It was a nice time, and that it was actually my last name in the character, not just Darth Vader overall, but Darth Betzler was kind of cool.
That's Darth Betzler.
It was great. I got to kill Chad a lot. Are you kidding me? That was the greatest thing ever. I haven't killed Chad in like 4 years, so it was a great time to kill him like multiple times, kick him, hit him with a towel, stab him with a lightsaber. It was great. It was great. I enjoyed every second of it.
I found out about my part when I got the email of the cast list, and after I saw it, I was incredibly happy. I'm incredibly angst, so I was happy, but I was able to portray that Marvin Wren character. He has a sentimental side to him, but that's just a way to cover up all the badasses he has. I loved my character, especially with my melodramatic moment close to the end of the show. One of my favorite lines.
I knew I should have charged this before I charged my big pad. Nothing ever goes my way!
I love my character. It wasn't a large character. I had a larger one the year before. But like I said, I could do something with it. Like, one of the lines was just like, the line was just interesting. You could do anything with that line. So just off of that one line, I got to play with it, and I got to play with the rest of my character.
So you can tell the directors and the writers put a lot of thought into the casting and the character writing process of the show, because I had the distinct honor of playing Cyndi Lauper in this show, obviously. And what happened was, throughout the entire regular Student 1 Acts, Brian would always come up to me and said, Nick, there's two things that's going to be a part of your character. You're going to run into a wall, and you're going to be a lady.
Nick's first scene as Cyndi Lauper, that was just flawless. He just comes out singing, the girls just want to have fun, and he even know the song ahead of time. So he just walks out and everyone just lost it because they see Nick and that get up. So I thought that was my favorite scene.
I was so happy to, because I never get to play a lady in shows. So this was totally, like, it was a new experience for me, and it was fantastic. I loved it.
I think my favorite scene that made me laugh hysterically was when the main characters, the team up, went to go to Gordon Ramsay's place for the first time and the second time, and Brian Louis is playing Gordon Ramsay.
Hello? Anyone here?
Oh, you've got fucking
Brian is Gordon Ramsay. It really just brought out his accent from Inspector Hound, really, and then just kind of let it run and insulted everyone.
I really liked Brian as Gordon Ramsay. He really embodied the character and the vision that I think that we all had for the character.
Insulting each one of the characters and going towards Mitch's character and putting a bun between both his ears and saying his funny line. It was hilarious.
What are you?
I watched the show after it was posted on YouTube, and he literally insulted me, saying, "What is this, some Chris Betzler frat guy look-alike?" And I'm just like, "Wait, what?" It was just like, I don't know, like the way he just insulted everyone consistently, and then when they were doing their training scene, even then he was just screaming at them, and I thought it was hysterical.
You wish like my fucking mom and she's fucking dead! What the fuck are you cooking?
A sexy sandwich?
Alright! Good enough. You're ready.
The shower scene. It's my favorite because I hate it, and it makes everybody uncomfortable. And it's the best part because of just that. And I don't even want to describe it. I'm just gonna say there's a shower scene and it's something else.
It was in the Manor North bathrooms where Chris Betzler, playing the character as Darth Betzler, had mostly his shirt, but had the shirt off, had his Darth Vader helmet, or Darth Betzler helmet.
It's ridiculous, and I just like seeing Betzler and Marvin's face when they read it, and when I had to direct them what to do. I don't know, it was weird. It didn't really make much sense, and it was just awkward.
I know why it was there. It was kind of funny, but also why? Why was it there? Why do we have the shower scene? Could have done it somewhere else that was not the shower. But, I mean, it wasn't a horrible scene, just not.
I hate it. It's so awkward.
What's wrong? I don't want to talk about it. Marvin ran. Oh! The lightsaber wasn't charged. And I kind of accidentally killed the baby. Damn it, Marvin! That is one less pity to go to Nicolas Cage's swamp party! No fireball for 15 minutes! Damn it! You, Casey, we rent these towels. They're community property. Hey. How many times do I have to kill you?
Favorite scene? It had to be the final scene, the dance battle scene.
Oh my god, I mean, it's the dance scene, right? I love the dance scene.
Probably the dance battle. That's probably the best because it's like in the whole play, like there's this epic battle between good and evil, and it's building up to something, but we're not sure what it is. All we know is that Darth Betzler said, "Meet me at Candy Mountain," and we don't know what we're doing. It was just a lot going on. We kind of we literally did some of that live. The dance moves were hysterical. It turns out it's a complete 180. It's an entire dance battle like the movie Step Up. And it's just all these different dance battles, I think there were 7 mini battles in there. And I think it was just a really fun time seeing all that.
It started out being really fun to really get to play around with dance because it wasn't something I usually did. I am trained in dance, I just haven't really I didn't really choreograph anything, and I've always danced in my car to a lot of things. And then when I heard that the song was gonna be Formation, I got really excited and listened to it 16 times in my car. Because typically when you're choreographing, you like to look at inspiration for what you're gonna do. But Beyonce just released that song, and really all I had to work with was the Super Bowl thing. So I was like, well, can't really just mimic everything she does, so let me just throw in some things.
I liked how I threw the money in the air and just made it rain a little bit. That was fun. And then the good guys came in and just were doing the chicken dance, and the whole kind of way things kind of just followed through throughout the dance battle, and then the end of the show. That just made me, and then the whole ending where it was a story time and didn't make any sense, of course, kind of brought it full circle to explain how the show is not supposed to make 100% sense, but at the same time ends up funny. That wasn't Star Wars at all.
Civil War.
Well, good night, biddies. Jack, get off the bed.
Of the 4, counting this one that I have seen or been a part of, I thought it was the best. We had old faces, we had new faces, we had people doing all sorts of things in all sorts of different ways. So I think we did a good job showing variety, having plot, and being absolutely hilarious all at the same time, which is the goal of the 24-hour show. I liked how the show turned out. I think that we all worked really hard on it, and the writers were up stupidly late doing it. It's done in 24 hours, so there are things that aren't gonna be perfectly done. First year I saw it, it was a hot mess. Like, it was funny, but there was nothing really to it. And then the last couple of years, they've been getting better, but they've focused on quests. So this year we kind of stepped out of doing the quest thing, and I would just continue on with that trend.
It was definitely a different experience, which I've told a lot of my friends back at home and family members. It's something that I know I'm going to appreciate every single year that I try to do that. And it's definitely made an impact of my freshman year here.
Chaos that just comes together at the very end, lots of people. It's the best way I can describe it.
I think that it brought the cast, or at least the people I worked with, a lot closer, because I don't think I'd be as close to some people if I didn't do something with the show. It was a lot of fun to do, and it was one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had as a person, because I honestly don't think I would be exactly as funny as I am now.
The thing I love the most about this show is, like, one of my biggest issues as an actor in regular musicals or plays is that far too often directors try to get you inside of this sort of bubble where you're not allowed to express yourself, or like you're sort of falling into this character archetype. And I think what the 24-hour show does, and what the student-written 1X as a whole do so well, is that they allow for this unbridled creativity. From the writers, from the directors, to the actors themselves. Like, it's so much fun to be able to, it's a goofy show, but you're able to, you know, breathe a lot of life into it, which I think is great.
I had fun. It was an experience that I wanted to have since freshman year. I just never had the opportunity to. So I'm glad I was in one of those shows where it's just like, let's do it all real in a small window. I thought it was a fun time. I really enjoyed it, and I kind of butthurt I'm not going to be here next year to do it. It was a lot of work, but I'm proud of how it turned out, and I can't thank everybody who was a part of it enough. This was the final show I was writing for the 24-hour show. And honestly, I'm very proud of it because this was the first year where I was completely in charge of the whole thing. I remember a small moment. I was backstage just rushing around trying to get everything in order, and Chris Betzler pulled me aside and he said, you should be proud about what you've done here. I'm like, why? And he's like, you made all this happen. And I'm like, yeah, but I had help, stuff. He's like, no, but you made this happen. And I kind of cried a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I got a little bit emotional. So, yeah, I'm very proud of how the show turned out.
What can you do? I can cough up hairballs.
Please tell me you got that down.
Yes.
Yes.
No, that's just one of your Pennsylvania terms.
No, okay, I think I already asked you this. Have you ever heard of somebody like blowing smoke up your butt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never heard of that.
Okay. Sorry. To continue.
Shower scene. It's just so weird, but it needed to be in there.
Shit, get a chocolate ball! Fuck are you cooking?
So cute.
I did this in the car on the way over.
Stop!
You're perfect.